Hello, Mr. Films and Random here with my first video on YouTube. Today I'm going to be reviewing Dead Poet Society. So Dead Poet Society follows a group of high school boys and their teacher, Mr. Keating, played by Robin Williams, in their first semester at Hilton Preparatory School. So this teacher, Mr. Keating, will often emphasize emotion and use many analogies from life to get his points across. He encourages these boys to carpe diem, or seize the day, to kind of take their chance the moment they get, asking them what will they be remembered for, what do they want to be known for in life once they're gone. And that encourages the boys to pursue their own goals, create their goals if they don't have any, and to take the moment when they get it. I took a film and worldview class a while ago, and that class really helped to kind of drive that nail of passion of filmmaking into me. It showed me many cinematic techniques that filmmakers will use, how they kind of can teach the audience life lessons without even being known they're taught. And so that only pushed me to further go into film. And so Dead Poet Society was the first film shown in that class, so I think it's only fair that I, as kind of a tribute to that class, I do that for my first review. So of course, spoilers if you've not seen this movie. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's there's a reason why it's considered one of the great films of all time. But this movie has a lot of great moments. Whether you're talking about the first classroom sequence where Mr. Keating's having the boys rip open the books, when he's talking to them about seizing the day, when they're looking at the photo galleries, what will your legacy be? You have these boys that they've been inspired by their teacher that kind of step up and think for themselves, what exactly do they want to be remembered for? What do they want their legacy to be? You've also got these emotional moments where you've got when Todd steps up, stands on the desk, finally finds his voice, seizes the day. At the very end, you've also got Neil in the play. You have his tension with his father, and then you've also got his death towards the end of the movie, when he takes his life, which is a very emotional, powerful, and sad moment of the film. It's great moments like this that kind of put this film up where it is, that kind of drive home this theme of legacy and this theme of time, how much time you have left, of seizing the day. Neil only had so much time. At the start of the film, no one, or not even Neil, would know that he would have taken his own life by the end. And then at the end of the film, his time is up. He is gone. He is snapped away. And you've got people like Todd, who he takes his moment, he seizes the day towards the end of the film to stand up for Mr. Keating as he's being fired. And then that inspires all the other boys to stand up with him, and the great "Oh Captain, my Captain" scene at the end of the movie. So this movie is among one of the most inspiring movies I've seen, which is probably one of the reasons why it's held up so high as it is. Many people consider it one of the greatest movies, some even the greatest. Peter Weir knew what he was doing when he was writing the script and directing this film. The casting is great, the acting is great. Robin Williams, as always, does a fantastic job. May he rest in peace. Let's get into some of the themes here. So I think one of the obvious ones is time and legacy. In the class I took, we were specifically looking for motifs and themes of time throughout this film, and they are everywhere. From the first scene of the initiation of the students to the very last scene when Mr. Keating is being laid off, he's forced to go. They are everywhere, from just the seasons changing to clocks on the wall, to you can hear ticking sounds in some scenes. Even Neil's death is a symbol of time, how our days are numbered and limited. And then that ties into the next theme, which is legacy. How do you want to be remembered? What are you going to do? How are you going to carpe diem, seize the day? What will people know you for when you are gone? Powerful themes that are very touching in real life. I may not agree with the worldview the whole way. There are several things, believing what I believe, that do tie into my worldview in terms of not just wasting away. You have a life. Act on your life. Do what you feel like you were called to do. Of course, this film also gets to some of the dangers of that, as some of the boys make better choices than others. You have Todd, who he's trying to find his voice. He succeeds in seizing the day at the end to stand up for Mr. Keating. You have Neil, who he seizes the day by joining the drama and performing a play, and then he ends up taking his own life, seizing the day in that way, making a statement to his father, which is one of the worst choices of the film. You also have other people that you have one person that he's trying to get the girl, and you have another person that he's going after all the girls, and then choices like that. It's like there's some that are good and some that are not so great, and you've got others that don't even take his advice whatsoever. And so it kind of takes a look at like how different people respond to this message, what they do with this message, how are they going to seize the day, what are their goals, what kind of effects do these goals have, what choices are they going to make. And so it shows the benefits of these choices and the dangers of these choices and the effect that they can have on other people. When it comes to this theme of time and legacy, I think no scene does it better than what is perhaps the most famous scene in this movie, when Mr. Keating takes the boys out of the classroom and has them all huddle around a trophy case. And they're looking at these pictures of students who used to go to school there, their graduation photos, their team photos. All these students are gone. They've all died. And so he uses this to kind of reinforce this message of legacy into these students. These former students who used to be there had their own legacy. They're remembered for certain things, but now they're gone. And what they did in life is how they're remembered. He says this will one day happen to these boys, and it will also happen to us. Every one of us will one day turn cold, stop breathing, and drop dead. I mean, Robin Williams, about 20 years after this film, is now gone. He's no longer alive. If you look at the actors who were young men during this film, they are all in their 40s or so. And so you look at things like that, and these messages of time and legacy can really hit home, especially further on down the line. As you age and get older and death becomes more of a present reality. And especially when Neil dies in this film, that hits all of the boys. They all realize death is real, it is coming. What are they going to do with their life? And these are themes that can really hit home. Personally, I don't agree with everything about the worldview, but there are parts of it that I do agree with. Like, we have a life to live. What are we going to do in this life? How are we going to be remembered? How will we be known? Will it be for good reasons or for bad reasons? We have only 80 so years to make that choice, and then we're gone, and then that's how people are going to remember us, what we did in our life. And so things like that can really inspire or influence people to seize the moment, to carpe diem, take what chance they have, and kind of think about what they will do in life, how they'll be remembered. And Dead Poet Society probably does this best of any film I've seen. So to kind of summarize my thoughts on this film, this is a movie that I think everyone should see. This is one of those great films that's on those lists of like top 10 movies that everyone should see, that every parent should show to their kid. And I would agree with that. This is one of those movies that if you haven't seen it, go see it. Might give a slight content advisory. There is some language here and there. There's one scene with a not so appropriate magazine, but other than that, this film is great. It has lots of great messages. The acting is great. Robin Williams does a fantastic job. You even get to see a little bit of his humorous side that he's known for. So if you've not seen this, go check it out. Overall, I'd give this film about 4 stars out of 5. This is one of my favorite movies. We'll watch it if you get a chance. As always, this is Mr. Films and Random. Thanks for tuning in, and goodbye.